right, there we go. Hey everyone, Richard Carlton here. Welcome to another great day of FileMaker training at fmtraining.tv. I'm the creator of fmtraining.tv, where you can learn all about the FileMaker platform and learn how to build better FileMaker applications for you, your customers, your organization. This broadcast is completely free to everyone and is being broadcast in high definition to Discord, YouTube, and to Twitch. This broadcast is being recorded, which is really great. Of course, we might clean up the recording a little bit, so if we make a malfunction during the live stream, then of course we reserve the right to clean that up on the recording later on. However, because it's a live broadcast, we encourage you to ask questions. In fact, some people get aggravated when there's this dialogue with you and we ask questions. We want questions. If you have a question, odds are other people have the question too. And so I want to thank everyone for logging in, Ken and TK and Dave One, Dave Learning, Ed, Elzo, Carol, Jake, Mike, all of you, welcome once again to another great broadcast. Now, as a reminder, if you want to check out the upcoming broadcast, go to fmtraining.tv, press the left tab for the live button. You can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. That's pretty awesome. Additionally, if you want to help support this channel, right? We always say this, this broadcast is brought to you by fmtraining.tv, bringing you the greatest and the most entertaining FileMaker training videos available. So the idea is that if you want to help support the channel, make sure you check out our on-demand video bundles. We have videos that cover the latest version of FileMaker. We have videos that cover the deploy course. In fact, we used to sell the courses individually. Anymore, it's just much simpler to sell a complete bundle for a low price. We do this on an annual basis. So if you buy one of the bundles, that really helps support the channel. It ensures that we can keep coming back every day, because this broadcast actually takes a lot of money to run. The people here don't work for free. As much as I would love that to be the case, they do want to get paid. So moving along, today's broadcast is being supported by the folks at the Los Osos office. That would be Haley Marie, Christian Olson, and the awesome coaching team down there. They're originating the broadcast. And so let's go ahead and cut over to them right now and get our guest speaker going as well.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday. We have Nick here with us again for the 5-day UI UX design, and I believe today we are covering day 3, correct?
Yep. Today is day 3. So thank you, Haley. Welcome everybody to this session today. So that's the first day of a series of 5 days. I might do an extra other week in the future about going deeper into the FileMaker Go kind of design and how things works. And because I want to go deeper in details, and I cannot do that in 1 week. What I want to do this week is to show you pretty much kind of the possibility and give you some direction to get the layout done in a simpler and quicker manner. Okay, so instead of reinventing yourself all the time, just the idea is to plan in advance that you're going to have a layout for iPad or iPhone. So when you do that, you need to plan in advance. So what I've done so far is now 3 years that we do the lean design kind of concept, and then we create that concept. Everything we say and everything we demonstrate is always FileMaker Go, let's say mobile compliance. I mean, all the coding we use, the coding standards we use, all the functions and all the techniques that we use for our demonstration and all the video, everything works perfectly on a Go and on FileMaker Go. So and that is mostly the case for 99.99. Maybe you can find one or two things that won't work on the platform on the iPhone and iPad, mostly due to the nature of the platform itself. Okay, so but what is important to know is that when you plan in advance that in your design that you're going to have iPhone and iPad, you save a lot of time. So yesterday I demonstrated to you that when you take a design for desktop, the way I've designed the FM Launchpad, the file that you have for free. This design has been created and invented to be what I said. We invented a new word here. It's iPadable and iPhoneable. Okay, so this design, you can just move around some components, and boom, you have an iPad layout, and you will see tomorrow, and boom, you have an iPhone layout. Okay, with very, very small rework. Okay, so yesterday I show you that. Let me share my screen real quick. So yesterday we saw that we have this layout here for iPad. Okay, so we got a desktop layout that was there. Let me take that off. So we had a desktop layout. Let me take it. The desktop layout. Let me put in browse mode. So this is always on top. So we have this design here. So this layout with this design. Let's remove this. So this is what we had, and this is what we get for the iPad. Okay, and this works, right? It's like this. Okay, so this is the landscape mode. So most of the time people are using the iPad in portrait. So let me explain you that. Apple made a survey, and pretty much every day they have this survey, and now they get the data directly from the user themselves. When you accept to send some data to Apple, you want to help them debug and stuff like that, you send them this information that how do you use the iPad, right? Portrait, landscape, so they have those information. And so with this information, they can tell us what is the orientation that we use the most. And there's no mystery here. When you have multimedia, like let's say music or movies, videos, people are watching that in landscape, which makes perfectly sense. Other than that, browsing and everything else, people are using the iPad in portrait, for everything else. And I'm pretty sure you do that yourself. I don't like to browse the web on, or what's the name, on landscape mode. So most of the people using your solution will use the solution for in portrait mode. But you need to make sure that the portrait mode is comfortable for usage. Okay, so and you cannot have everything on portrait mode. Why? Because portrait mode, by definition, is you don't have the width with you. You have the height, not the width. Okay, and like here, for example, you can see the problem that we have. If I want to make that layout for in portrait, I will have this cut here, pretty much, right? It will be cut here. So let me show you how it will look. So don't forget this website here. We sent yesterday the link. Maybe Haley, you can send I'm sending to your account, to the live stream. I'm sending the link to you. Then you can share the link to people.
Okay.
So this layout, this website, this page is very interesting because you can resize your layouts for the right device, and you have the dimension in portrait and in landscape, and with the UI and without the UI. What they call the UI is all the what's the name, status bar, the toolbar and stuff like that. Okay, which I never kind of show in my productions. I always hide those things. But this is me. Okay, if you want to show the UI, that means the what we call the UI is this, right? Is the those things, right? So can I? Yeah, see those things here. See, you want to. This is what we call the UI, right? This thing here, or plus and minus. So this kind of stuff. This is what they call the UI. So you can see on the bottom here, it took over the real estate of my layout. So if I show it, see, you get that up and down. See, so it's kind of for taking over some of my real estate. So you need to take that in account, and that's why FileMaker came with those two separated kind of for height, because it's always it doesn't take real estate from the left or the right, but always from the top and the bottom. So you have the menu bar is 44 points and the toolbar is 27. That on the max, for example. But you can see in landscape it's not the same. See, in landscape you have less, you have more. Landscape, portrait, you have less, and you have different size on both kind of orientation. So it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not static. So you need to make sure that you have the right data here, the right number. So I have an iPad Air 2, and I want to, so the height of the UI hidden, and I want that in portrait, which is 1004, right? That 8, and the width is 768. This is the width, okay? So this is the width, okay? So this and this. So when you have these two numbers, you go here in your layout, okay, and you layout mode, and you, let me remove this to have more, and you go to the stencil. Stencil is this here, and you customize your stencil and you put the points. So it was 1004 in 8 and 768 in width. So now I have the stencil, you know, this orange stuff here, right? So you can see my problem here. So let's go to the layouts that I've built yesterday for the iPad, okay? The portrait. Here, the landscape. That's the landscape. So you can see here, I have a problem. I cannot show this layout in landscape because it will be cut here. And I don't want to compress everything with such small space. You remember yesterday what I've done here between this layout here and this layout, what we have done, we have compressed this group of objects here. We compressed that and we merged this with that objects, okay? That's what we did. We did a compression. So you guessed it, I'm going to continue the compression. But here what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove object from the layout. So what I want to do now, I want to build, this is the landscape mode. I want to build a portrait out of this, okay? And the landscape mode is always easier to get from the desktop layout. Why? As I said yesterday, is because we are, by definition, in landscape in every single computer in the world, unless you have a portrait, was the orientation of your, I know some people, especially people doing text editing, they have portrait kind of, they can move their, they lay their, what's the name, their screen, they put in portrait mode, right? So and you have a setting in the preference for doing that. You can rotate your screen to make it portrait, right? But naturally we have landscape screens on desktop, okay, laptop, whatever. They are landscape, so it's easier to get the landscape. So when you want to do this, when you want to get the iPad layout out of your desktop layout, first you build the landscape because it's easier, okay. So now that when you got the landscape layout, okay, now you're ready to build the portrait. So you go there and I duplicate this layout here, okay, and I'm going to duplicate it twice. So I duplicate it once and I duplicate it twice, and you will see why. This first one, I'm going to call it tablet, and this is portrait. Okay, this is portrait. So this is the layout now. I have my layout here now to do the portrait. Okay, so I'm going there. So this is the layout portrait. See portrait here. Okay, so now you know why that it's an apartheid. You know why I'm naming things like this. This menu here, this is the only way we have in layout mode to know where we are. This is the only way we can know what layout we are in. I know it makes no sense, but this is the only way. And this doesn't get bigger. When you have a big name like this, you can see what I've done. I said, okay, I'm in L500T, which is tablets, T for tablets. And at the end, I said portrait. See, I see the word portrait. And but see, it says the beginning, ... and the end. So I did the same here. You see landscape. Okay, you don't see landscape, but you see endscape. You know where you are, right? Just this is a trick just to tell you how to name the thing, and then you get immediately you know where you are, right? Because it is very, very simple to just modify the wrong layout. I know everybody did that once in their life. Okay. So here, what I want to do, I just want to, you see this object here, this object and this object, this group of objects, I just want to get rid of them. Bye-bye, sayonara. I don't want this. I get rid of this. I get rid of this. I get rid of everything. Everything gone. Bye-bye. Goodbye, Broadway. Okay, so now you guessed it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move all of those things here. Bam. So now I moved everything on the left. But you can see here, I have a lot of real estate left here. You see on the bottom here, I have a lot of real estate left. So what I can do, I can go and put this down here. I have a lot of real estate for free, that I can use. Because my portrait, we said 1004 in 8, okay? So I can go to 1004, okay? 1004. I could get less, but I have 1004, okay? And so now I can go down here, right? And I can make that larger because I have more real estate too, until 778, okay? So this is what I can do. So remember, my layout is, and of course I can move this. I have to move this to 768, okay? Oops. Because this is the width of my screen. So now this is my layout, okay? This is my layout. So I have more room here, so I can make this. This is a slide control. Remember, I just moved the slide control with all my stuff here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it bigger like this, okay, till there, and larger like this. So now I have plenty of real estate, right? I have plenty of real estate, so I can do this. I'm going to move that down a little bit, and I will show you why. Okay. So I have another open layout like this, so I can copy object. I don't need to, because I already done it. Okay. So hold on. I copy this. Okay. So I want to copy those objects. So you see, I have this object here. I want to copy this object here. Okay. So I have a button here. I need a button here. And you will see why. I need a button here, and I want to. Where's my? Oh, I did a mistake here. Sorry. I need to make this a little bit down like this. This is outside. This is my what's the name? Slide control. Okay, I have a slide control here, so I can put. I don't need this right and left. I don't need that anymore. This border here. I needed before in portrait, in landscape, but not in portrait. And then I can just reorganize a little bit this here, right? And I want to put that up here like this. thing like this, So I have something, I have plenty of real estate anyway, so I can make it that larger a little bit, So my picture will be bigger a little bit, right? And I can make it longer like this, I can make it, oops, I need to move this here, and I can make my portal bigger. See, so I have more real estate that I need, but it's okay, it's fine. I can just use this that way. Okay, I can organize this like this, make it, this is just standard kind of a reflow of objects. Okay, and I want to do the same here for the portal. So you got the point here. I have more real estate for the portal now, so I can put my portal back the way like this. I can just move this here. I have two things here, and so I have two. I can just do this and oops. Okay, and I can just resize this here. So I'm doing exactly the thing that you will have to do. I can move back this here, and etc. So I have another portal here. This is easier. This is the picture. So now I have a bigger picture. I have more real estate, so I can move this there. I can move this there and put in the middle. I can move this down, right? So pretty much see what we can do here. It's pretty cool. So I need to put that in the middle now. Okay, we have the nice stuff. So I can move that here, and I can go to the next, the one here, and I do the same here. I put that bigger. I put that here. I move those two. Oops. I move those two. Oops. 1, 2. Okay, I move here, and I can make it. I can have more kind of rows here. I can put one more. No, one more is too much. Okay, we can do that. So pretty much I have my layout done. Okay, so see here, I have my layout. So this is I have my landscape layout. Okay, well, portrait layout is there. So so now that you have this done, you can see, so it's extremely comfortable now to use because you have a lot of real estate, right? So it's large, it's wide, and you can concentrate in your what's the name, in your data, the pictures, the history, whatever. Okay, so you have a very comfortable kind of a layout. Actually, it's more comfortable than this one. Okay, this one is less comfortable. It's still comfortable, but it's not as comfortable as the other one because you have more width and stuff like, depending on what you show, right? But still, the other one, this one is comfortable. So so you saw what I've done here. I duplicate the layout, and I removed the navigation, this here and this here and this. I removed that completely from the layout. Okay, so now you say, okay, Nick, this is okay, this is great, but what am I going to do with my navigation here? Because it's quite missing, right? So yes, it's missing, but not really missing. Okay, remember, so let's show you. Now I have my portrait. My portrait layout is it's exactly what you have. Oh, I did a mistake here. I think I moved there. Okay, that happens often. I need to move this back into the portrait, into the. Okay. Oh, because maybe it's too wide. Hold on. Okay, so now I'm back. Okay, so so I have my layout is the same layout, wider, but I don't have the navigation. Now I want to put back the navigation in a way. So I know you guys and myself too, before we had a problem with this, because what I want to simulate here, it's what we call a hamburger navigation panel. Okay, so what is a hamburger? Why we call that hamburger? Is because the icon we use for that, it's always looking like a hamburger. Demonstration. I was browsing my Amazon kind of things today to buy a new pen, for example. See here, this is what I want to do. I want this. Same thing. And most of the time I say, okay, if Amazon, with the billions of trillions of quadrillions and quintillions, the money they have, so they spend the money for me, okay? So just do what they do, okay? Because they spend the money for me, okay? So I want this, and you can see the icon is what we call a hamburger, and it's always a hamburger. Okay, so and we call this icon hamburger. Okay, so now you know this is the hamburger icon. Okay, so so now that I have this, I want to build the same thing that I just showed you with Amazon. But how I can do that? Right? How I can do that? Before we were using a trick with popovers. Okay, and it was a trick, it was a hack. And I didn't like it. So after that, I was using another technique, which was the hidden slide control, So we were building a slide control. It was a hack as well. It wasn't good. It wasn't clean, right? And it was difficult to implement. So now what I want to do, okay, is this. So I go to my layouts. Remember, I duplicated twice this. Remember, I duplicated twice. This here, this layout, the second one that I duplicated, the copy 2. Okay, first of all, I want to rename it, and I'm going to rename it, navigation. Okay, this is navigation, so I renamed it navigation. And what I want to do the exactly opposite of what I've done before. I'm going to destroy this, and I'm going to destroy this, remove this completely. And I'm going to remove this. I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to do this, pretty much. Okay. So this is my navigation. So I could make it bigger, taller, but I don't, because I want to show you something. Okay. So now I have my hamburger is there. My navigation menu is there. Okay. So what we need to do here, we need to go there. It's a new window, okay? And here's the trick. So when you say, I want the window, it's a card style window that goes to the layouts, navigation. It's a card style window. I want the height of the window to be the height of this window here, okay? So the height of my new window, my new custom window, will be equal to the height of that window. Okay. So why we do that? Why we don't do hard coded? Why I don't say 1004? Because this layout that I just created, okay, this layout, yes, it's true. It's built for an iPad 2. But what happened if tomorrow, one of my friends or family will buy me for Christmas, will buy me an iPad Pro. It's 1092, right? So why I cannot enjoy this, right? So what do I need to do? I need to go and hard code my new window and say, 1092. And what happens if I have both? So if I said 1092, it won't work well in my iPad 2 anymore, right? So why we do that is because I said As I'm saying here, what I'm saying here is simple. Yes, it's true. The minimum size is what's the name? The minimum size is 1004. What will happen if I have 1092 instead of 1004? It will just increase using the anchoring system here. This will get bigger. This will go down. Okay, see, this will go down. This will go wider, right? So automatically, it will increase automatically. I want my burger to whatever the size of the height of this layout will be at the moment I'm displaying. At the moment I tap here, I will tap this button. I want automatically the thing to go. Okay, I want the thing to get resized. Okay, so that's why I'm saying this and say, okay, whatever the width I have it is 339. This is the width. I know that, it's fixed. The width is fixed, but the height, I want the height to be manageable because I'm going to have a different height in different. If I have a bigger iPad, my height will be different. And of course, I want the position from the top and the position from the left. I want that to be 0. Why? Because this is something you're going to learn about. This is what you're going to learn about the car style. By default, so let me show you this. By default, the car style will position itself in the center of the screen automatically. So you don't need, if you want to center a window on a car style window, you don't need to do anything. Just let it do its job. Okay, it will automatically be positioned at the center of the screen automatically. Okay, automatically. Okay, now if you don't want that to happen, I want the thing. You remember my burger on the Amazon website? Okay, it comes from the left. It comes from the left. 0, 0. It comes from the corner here, right? So I want the same thing here. So that's why I'm saying I want you, the window, to initiate top 0, left 0. So demonstration, what's that doing? Okay, so I have this. Okay, it's doing this. See? So now I have on top of my window, okay, on top of my screen here, I have my navigation that came automatically in a car style window. And so on desktop, as I said yesterday, when you say the car style window here, when you say the car style window and you say close, okay, let's say I don't say close, so I don't say close, here what happened. If I don't say close, I don't have, and I cannot close this window anymore. I'm stuck. I stuck myself unless you have a script here that says close, okay? And I know I have one. So when you are here, when you're stuck with a window that you have no way to close the window, okay? So you can go in the script and create yourself a script that closes the window. Activate this menu to be accessible from the script menu while debugging your script calling the car style window. That's why I call that way. Right? That means if you click here, let's say you have this. Let's say you're stuck there because I can't dismiss this window anymore. Okay, I go there, I say close window, bam. So bye-bye, goodbye, Broadway. So, this is, so now but on the what's the name here, when you go there under what's the name on the window, on the car style window here, for example, I don't want the people to be able to close the window. That's why I have a cancel button. So if I don't have the button here to close the window, right? And I can close the window only when I tap on cancel. But here, I don't have a cancel button, but I can close the window. But on the mobile, FileMaker lets you dismiss the cursor window by tapping outside of the card. When you tap here, for example, whenever outside of the card, this is how you close it. So if you don't activate this, oops, sorry. If you don't activate the close, right, you will never have the little close button on an iPad. You have it on the, what's the name, on the desktop, you will have this, okay? But on an iPad, to dismiss this window, you just tap outside, but not on FileMaker Pro. I don't know, don't ask me, don't ask me why they, why they don't, I don't know. So here, here how it looks when you are on your layout here on your iPad. I rotate, and here I have this. Okay. So now when I tap here, I have my menu coming, and if I tap outside, I dismiss. Open, dismiss. So of course, because we never know, I put this icon here to make sure people understand how to dismiss. They can tap here, okay, in the cross here. But if they click outside, it dismisses as well. It's just a security to make sure that everybody knows. And as you can see, my here, this here, it's now as big as my iPad. Why? Is because I told FileMaker Go that when you open this layout here, okay, when you open the layout, even though the layout is smaller, I don't care, because I have the anchor that is going to stretch it, okay? It's going to stretch it automatically, like it's doing here, see? It's doing here. It's stretching, right? So the minimum size of this is this, but I can do this. It follows, see? It follows. So this is what it's doing for me, okay? So do we have any questions from right now?
Yeah. On Twitch, Daniel is asking, how does the card pop-up know the active asset to highlight? Is there a variable passed around? Or
No,
is it based on the same table?
Because you don't need. So this is a FileMaker, it's a FileMaker traditional things. Okay, let me explain why. It's a good question. All of those layouts, they go to the same table. They go to the same table. T18 asset, all of them. Okay. So here what happened. Let's say I'm here, I'm here. And I want to create a new window. Okay. I'm still here, right? But if I go to the layout, I'm still here. This is the what's the name? Nicolas Etienne. See, Nicolas Etienne. So let's say now I'm doing the same thing. I change this. I go to another. Whatever. I go here. It's not the phone anymore. Okay. I'll go a new window, and I go to the layout. Bam. Now it's this. It's a workstation Dell 1920. Is this 1920? Why? Because I open a new window from a record. That's why I'm using the new window CarStar window, because it's doing all the job for me. When you create this, what's this button is doing? This button says new window, okay, and go to this layout. But because this layout and this layout goes to the same table, right? All the new window you're going to if let's say for example I changed the record from here. I'm going to this one, okay? and I said new window, boom, I'm there. I'm in Lena's, and if I say go back to this, see, it's following that. Each new window will start where you are, but because it's doing this, because I go to the same table, this and this goes to the same table, so I don't need to do anything, just new window.
Got it.
So now what you want to know is the other way around. When I change a record here, how I can get that window to get the same layout. Normally, if you follow me, you shouldn't ask the question. If you follow me, if you follow my webinars, because I answer this question 200 billion times.
Pete says, when do you decide that your development of the desktop version is stable enough to then compress the layouts for the smaller form factors?
When you have what we call a final candidate on your layout. I mean, when you have a layout and it's in production on desktop and everything is okay, everything are happy and everybody's happy, then you can start the compression. Now, here what I'm doing. Sometimes people ask me for modification. So, oh, we want this, we want that. Oh, we need this, we need that. Oh, okay. So I don't want to replicate that all the way, to go all the layout and replicate. So what I'm doing, I'm making all the changes on the desktop, and I redo that. I'm redoing all this compression stuff, all the process, on the iPad layout. I'm redoing. I destroy all the iPad layout because it's so simple to get the desktop layout, redo all the compression, all the modification. The tweaking, rearranging, and moving around and resizing is so quick that if you have to implement all the changes in all the layout, it takes much longer. That one. Of course, if they ask you a new button or one layer or they ask you one field, additional field. Okay, you go all the layout and you add the field. But otherwise, you don't have to do that. So okay. So now let me continue. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Ken was asking about doing the transfer between landscape layout and portrait layout. He said, did he miss how we went from the landscape layout to the portrait layout?
That's what I was going to show. That's what I'm going to show. Very simple. So now you need to know about a function here that we call get window orientation. Okay. So this get window orientation has only one meaning, is this. Of course, FileMaker did everything to be complicated, and because they love it. And anyway, so this is how it works. This is insane. Who cares if you rotate from the left or rotate from the right? I mean, okay. Some people care. Okay, I know why they did that. They did that for some people are making application using card reader, the credit card readers or whatever. So they have things connected to the port, to the lightning port. They have something connected there. So they need to know when they rotate the iPad, they need to know where is the connected device, because sometime on the screen you say, hey, scan your credit card on the device on your right, or scan your credit card on the device on the left. They need to know that. Okay, but this is really when you are crazy. Okay, and more crazy than me. That means very crazy. Square, this is for pro and WebDrive only, because there's no way you can have a square iPad, not existing. Portrait upside down is when you have what the portrait upside down is when you have the home button on top. Okay, when you have the home button on top. Okay, I don't care about this. I don't care about that. What I care is portrait landscape. So it's easy. It's easy. What I'm saying here is this. When the orientation is less than 1, it's landscape. When it's less than 1 is landscape, otherwise it's portrait. So let me show you. So, so of course you get, so you have you need a kind of what's the name, a script, okay? And the script here, I created it for you, so we don't have to wait for creation this. So we have the script here. It's a trigger, and this is a script, the script. So trigger on layout size change, window orientation is what I'm saying here. Okay, less than 0. Okay, yeah. So less than 0. That's what I was saying. Not less than 1. Sorry. So we said less than 0, it's landscape, right? More than 0, it's portrait. This is how I'm doing this. So less than 0, it's portrait. Go to portrait. More than 0, go to landscape. That we say. Okay. So actually, it's the opposite. Greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0, less than 0, whatever. Whatever. Greater than 0, you go there. Less, you go there. It's, that's what you want. That's what you say. Okay. So this is what the get or window orientation is giving you. Okay. So now, how you get this? Okay. In your layout, so not this one, but this one, you are going to add a trigger on layout size change, and you're going to add this script here. You're going to add this script there, and you go to the other script, the other layout, the landscape layout, and you do the same thing. Okay, on layouts change. Okay, so 28. 2989. Okay. So now demonstration. This is portrait. Okay, sorry. This is landscape. Yeah, he's doing the opposite. He should do the. Yeah, this. Why? He's doing the opposite. Okay, portrait, landscape. Okay, portrait, landscape. Portrait, landscape. Okay, so far so good. Okay, portrait. So automatically, FileMaker will give you the dimension, the right dimension. Okay, portrait, landscape, portrait, landscape. So and when you rotate your iPhone, your iPad, automatically, FileMaker is going to make you to drive you to the right layout. So now we have the possibility to add animations. Okay, so I'm going to talk about animation later, especially on the iPhone. Okay, but here I'm using cross dissolve. Unfortunately, because this stuff here, it's not. Here, this stuff here. Oh, they want the. Okay, so is not the cross dissolve is okay. Normally you have this. What's the name? Hold on. Why it doesn't work anymore? Okay, so here. Normally you don't have this deformation. You have this. Okay, see what I mean? Forget this. Okay, you have the dissolve. It's dissolving on the real. Because of this software, it doesn't render well. But on the iPad, it looks great. On the iPad, it looks great. You have a cross dissolve. They are mixing both layout together, right? They're blending together. So that's the effect I'm using when I do this cross dissolve. Okay. So this is how you get the window orientation. Okay, it's very simple, nothing magic here. So now I have this. I have my navigation here. So now what you want to know is, so that FileMaker will automatically show you the current record when you open a new window from the same table, from the same table of occurrence. When everything is on the same table, when you open the new window and you go to another layout with the same table of occurrence, the new window will, and if when you go to the another layout, will show you the same record from where you start the new window. So I demonstrated that before, so I don't want to do it again. So now what you need to know with the time that left is maybe we have a question before I turn to another topic.
Yeah, there was one about using, hold on, let me go up. Net Lobster was saying that she can see doing portrait and landscape layout for the iPad, but is it necessary for the iPhone? And so there was a little bit of conversation.
No, I disagree with this, but I will show you why. You will see why. Especially when you have an iPhone of the size we have today, and especially when you have an iPhone Plus, for example, or an XR, or those big iPhone. When you have a rotate, you can have kind of a mini iPad. Okay, so it depends. Okay, I understand on an iPhone 4, for example, iPhone 4, iPhone 5. Maybe it was the case, but even though it wasn't that the case, I'm going to show you that you will see. You will change your mind on this because I'm going to show you things that you couldn't expect that would happen, and you couldn't expect that you could do, especially now that the get window orientation kind of function. You will see you can play with many things on this, and I have a great example for that. So. It's you will see it's cool. Okay, so now I want to show you now how you do to transfer so we saw that when if I'm here and I'm creating a new window, right, it goes to the right record. Okay, if I change, I go to another one, I go there, for example, which is the phone, right? If I click here, new window, I will land on the phone. So there's multiple reasons why I'm doing this. Why is doing this? Why is working like this? Is because I am using here in this layout here, I am using the new portal current table. So see, the portal here is on the current table. Okay, so let's say if I have here and I show, it's pretty much this layout. If I go there, it's item. Okay, so if I go there, if I show the item like this, so if I do this now, you will see that I land on the Cotton Apple iPhone 8, right? So if I click here, I change the record here. I change the record. I'm the record. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm changing the record. I change the record. Okay. So, but I'm not showing this in this layout here. I'm not showing it. Okay. I'm showing only the portal, but I'm not showing this. Neither I'm showing this. Okay. So in this, but they're all on the same table of occurrence. So now what I want to show you is the opposite. From this table, from this layout, if I change the record, I want this layout to know about it. So there's another technique here that we use always. I use always, and I show you many, many times. It's the transfer of font set. Okay. So here, so I created a script for you, and I'm going to show you the script. I said script, I didn't say this. Okay. So I'm going here, and this is a script. Go to record from hamburgers. Okay. From the hamburger, here what the thing's doing. Okay. I am here. Remember the go to read record stuff, and so you pass, you send, you get the ID of the asset you just tap on, close the window. Right? You set the global field. which will be this global field is used as a parent key in a relationship, and I use a relationship to go to the record. Okay, so let me show you how it works. So first I need to copy the button here because I have everything done. So I wanted to save time, and I pre-build everything. Okay. So I'm going there, and I'm going to paste this. This is the button. Okay. This is the button that go there inside. Okay. So I need to do this. This button need to go inside the. Okay. So this button here, it's inside the portal. It's inside the portal. Okay. Inside. So now everything there. So let's go to the layout here. I am in this layout, right? I'm in this layout. I tap here. So I land on this iPhone stuff. And let's say I want to go to a tablet, right? And I want to go to the tablet here. I want to go to that Charlotte's tablet. I click here, and yeah, forget about this, and forget about this. Okay, so this is what we need to. Okay, so now when you click here, it goes there. Okay, so you have, I'm triggering this script. What this script is doing? So I set a variable with the ID of the record I just clicked in, which is not the same record as it was before. The one I have in background is not the same record. Okay, I just tap on it. It's a new record. It's another record. Okay. Now I have this kind of variable, and I can close a window. Now I'm back here. I'm setting a global. Okay, I'm setting a global with this ID. The ID I just tapped on. And here, this global, it's a parent key of a relationship I used to use the go-to record. And when I do this, bam, I go to Charlotte, Colin, kind of for Apple iPad, right? Very simple. So the relationship I'm using is this. It's this one, okay? Actually, it should be like this. Okay, so I show you this. So this is a global field where I'm sending the asset ID I want to go, and the relationship says I want the ID of inside the assets go to the same ID. This is the ID I was before. This is the ID I want to go, and the go-to record is going to do it because it's a self-joined relationship. Assets, I'm going to both. We already had a lot of session about this. You use this technique of the go-to record from one table to another, but it happened to be the same table. Okay, so this is how you go. This is how you do. You're going to get this file anyway, so you're going to be able to analyze what I've done here. But pretty much is what you do here. So let me show you on the iPad how it works, okay? So to show you how comfortable it is. So let me remove this stuff here, okay? So here I have this, and I can tap here, tap here, tap here, okay? So when I rotate, I'm still in the Dell. I'm still there. I'm still in the same thing, but I don't have the navigation anymore. Okay. So now I want my navigation back. So I tap the asset button here. Okay. I have my navigation, and let's say I want to go, I don't know, here. I want to go to this one, the workstation, this one, shuttle, bam. See, I tap here, and I'm back on shuttle because I reopened the window. I set a new window from one table of occurrence to another, which is the same table. That's why it lands to the same records, right? and I can change again. I can navigate and say, okay, this is Leo Microsoft, okay, etc., etc., and everything works. I can have this works, for example, this works. I have my cell phone here, my cell phone. Everything works, everything works, and I didn't modify anything. I have a hamburger menu that works perfectly fine. Okay, I didn't change anything. Just I added this little script, 4-line script, and to get back to my record. So the principle is simple. Oh, here you are in one layout, in one record. So I open this. I am in that record. Okay. So now I change the record. I'm going to another record here. Okay. So I set the variable with that record, the one I'm going to tap here. I'm going to tap on this Tristian's del. When you tap here, the variable takes the ID, close the window, set the global, and go to that record to get that record based on the ID. So it's very simple. Bam, blam. I am on Tristan Roger. Any questions?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so everybody knows everything. So that's cool. Yeah, it's not really complicated, to be honest with you, and it's just a matter. I explained this many times. We call that transfer of font set. Actually, I didn't have to reuse. I didn't even have to create a field, because I reuse the same field I'm using for searching, which is the same technique. I'm using the same technique for searching. Transfer of font sets. You can find the video when I talk about transfer of font sets. This is a technique I use for that too. But this is very cool to have this kind of design, okay? And normally, if you don't have the desktop design that had in mind this type of thing, you cannot do it. I hope you get the point here, okay? But if you show that to somebody and you say, okay, oh, by the way, this is a native app, nobody can say no, because this is definitely something. See this here? This is something that is definitely Apple, iPad, iPhone, right? And nothing looks like something like, oh my gosh, this is not native. Everything looks native, okay? Like this, this stuff here. So everything looks native. So before we go, I want to show you something, tell you why I'm using a lot of those buttons here instead of this radio buttons here. Is because it's much more comfortable, because it doesn't show when you use this. FileMaker has to show this bar here, which is not comfortable. So that's why I'm not using much of those radio button. And radio button are not native kind of intuitive iOS objects. You don't find any radio button in iOS. You never found them. So here, unfortunately, it would have been a huge redesign kind of process to do this. So unfortunately, in that case, that would have been kind of what I was calling yesterday an acceptable compromise. Okay. Anyway, no questions still?
Nope, no questions.
Okay, so.
Alrighty. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today, and Nick, thank you for walking us through the landscape and portrait views. That last tidbit about the radial buttons was helpful.
Yeah, David Angel has just a question: how to create an icon on iPad?
So I think that goes back to something that Moki was talking about earlier in the conversation. If I'm correct. David can clarify, because they were talking about how you can make, instead of clicking on the FileMaker Go and then clicking into the file, you can just make an icon for your file and click on that, and it'll take you right to whatever file you're wanting to open. Yeah, that's correct. Moki can go through and answer that, because that wasn't part of today's conversation for you.
No, yeah. No, we need to look. What I'm going to explain tomorrow, and so we're done for iPad now. So now what I'm going to do is to continue building the thing, and tomorrow and Friday we are going to deal with iPad with iPhone. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat things that I already explained for iPad, because we are going to continue the compression. Okay. So I don't need to explain that more, okay? But I'm going to show you things that helps a lot when you build for iPhone, especially when you are in a list view. The parts on the list view, the different parts are very important, okay? And there's some tricks. There's some things you can do with FileMaker that helps a lot. So I'm going to focus on those things and not repeat myself, okay, about the compression and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that sounds good to me. Thank you, Nick, and thank you again, everybody else. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day, night, morning, wherever you are, and we will see you again tomorrow.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.